Let's just bring this up to modern day. Let's think about this. The son goes away to college, he gets his degree, he comes back, his dad says, hey, one of the things I'd like you to do is take over the books. And so one day the son is sitting in there and he's got the books in front of him. Dad comes in from the field and the son says, Dad, sit down, Dad. You asked me to, take over the books and the business and all. And Dad, I've been going over the books. And Dad, I want to talk to you about something, man. You might not even know you do this. Dad? We all have blind spots, so not accusing you, just talking numbers now. But Dad, every time one of our animals has a firstborn, you, how shall I say this, kill it. And Dad, I think it's getting out of hand with you because you killed 72 animals last year. And we're in the ranching business, Dad, and this is cutting into our profits. So why do you do that? He said, one day your son's going to ask you. And he said, when he asks you, you say to your son, son, I need to tell you something about our family that you don't know. But we weren't always in the ranching business. We did not own animals. We didn't own land. Son, we were slaves. We were in bondage. But God, with a mighty hand, redeemed us and gave us everything we have now. Therefore, we gladly give to God the firstborn of all of our increase. Now, this was written 4,000 years ago, and this principle happened to me. When Josh was kind of getting old enough to understand numbers and all, and he has this mathematical mind like I do and like his grandfather, and so one day I was paying the bills. Now, we didn't have online back then, and so what I would do is I would write the check first, and then I would set the check, the tithe check, and then I would set it over the side, and then I would pay the bills. But I'd always write the tithe check first and set it over the side, and then take it with me to church. By the way, for you young people, we used to have pieces of paper called checks. All right. So I'd set it over the side. So I'm paying the bills, and Josh came in, and I'm watching him out of the corner of my eye. And he's reading this tithe check, and he sees the amount, which to a young boy looks like a lot of money. And he says, Dad, why are you giving so much to the church? And I remember this scripture, when your son asks you, this is what you tell him. And I took Josh and I actually set him on my lap and I said to him, I need to tell you something about Daddy that you don't know. But Daddy wasn't always a Christian, son. And Daddy was a very bad man. And Daddy was in bondage. But God, with a mighty hand, redeemed your daddy and gave us everything we have now. Therefore, I gladly give to God the first of all of my increase.